Recently, funny story now. Recently, I was caught in what I would consider to be a dilemma. Yeah, I had two women, but there were these two women, young ladies. One was, that ideal. The other one was more like average. Yeah, a five or a six or whatever you want to rate her. Average. But then there was something stunning. They both had. All right, so I had this particular message or this particular. Um, I had this conversation with this girl, and I think she misunderstood a lot of the things that I said or a lot of the things that we talked about in our conversation. And she sent me a message, and I'm gonna read you guys the message, and I'm gonna be talking about this particular thing that she talked about. And so here's it. Here it is. Um, hey, after talking to you today, I've come to realize that guys with your type of preference are part of the problem in society, especially as it relates to women. Every woman is beautiful, no matter her size or height, and no lady should change or be pressured to change or enhance her shape or body part because you guys like girls with big boobs or a booty. You should change your beauty standards. All women are beautiful. So what do I think about this today? I think okay, we had a very long conversation, and we talked about a whole lot of things. And part of the things we talked about was women and my taste in women and what I like. And after that conversation, she's trying to throw some shades at me or whatever, try to correct me or something. But here's the thing: what I might have said to her was, or what I said to her was, look, I like curvy women. I like big things and stuff like that. Most people say that, and most people like that too, or most guys actually like that too. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with you having your preference. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Ladies have preferences. Men also have preferences. Guys have preferences. Everybody has preferences, yeah? And a lot of times, the truth is, these preferences are bottom line unrealistic. And that's the truth. But references, preference, you having a preference doesn't make it a requirement. In my case, I've got a preference. I like women that are this big or this curvy. But that's not a requirement for me. I'm not out here only seeking women like that. Oh, that's the requirement. If you are not curvy or big like this, then you don't want to come close to me because now, no, come on. That's just a preference. That's the ideal, okay? It's just like women saying, because I've heard a lot of women say this. They're like, I like a guy who's got a chiseled body or who's got six pack abs and everything like that. And I like those type of guys. And that's not the problem. That's her preference. And that doesn't make her, that doesn't mean a lot of times some of the women that I've talked to are actually dating or they're with guys that don't meet that standard. Yeah, it's not a requirement. It's just a preference. This is the ideal world. And so a lot of times there's a difference between the ideal world and the real world. Okay? The ideal world or the real world. I mean, I like all types of women. Yeah, I like all types of women. Recently, funny story now. Recently, I was caught in what I would consider to be a dilemma. Yeah, I had two women. Well, I didn't have two women, but there were these two women, young ladies. One was, that ideal. The other one was more like average. Yeah, a five or a six or whatever you want to rate her. Average. But then there was something stunning. They both had various, or they both have various or different personalities. The girl who you would consider average had more femininity behind her. She had a stunning feminine presence each time she walked into the room, and each time she talked to you, and each time you guys had that conversation, and it was like, whoa. And so it was more like a dilemma to me. And in my experience, a lot of women who are average tend to make up, you know, for that with other things. You know what I mean? Yeah. They tend to make up for it. While I've seen lots of women who are the curvy type, and the stereotype would be like, oh, you want to get with this type of women. Most guys want to get with this type of women, and they are really good, you know. But then it may not be the case. A lot of times it's not the case in my personal experience. Yeah. There are women who are the average women, and these women would do things that you never expect. They're skilled. Like, yeah. You talk about the personality aspect and every other thing, they're different. Like the dilemma that I had to, bring myself back to reality and say, well, this is just an ideal. The lady who's far hair and has got all of that, that's the ideal thing. Yeah, that's what you want. But this lady who is average, or who you would consider to be average, is what you would consider to be sustainable personally on the long term. So I don't see what she says or what she's saying that that makes sense to me in my own view. Yeah, I understand that there are people who would make it a requirement. There are girls who would make, the perfect physique guy, ripped guy. They're gonna make that a requirement, and I understand. And I've seen women like that, and I've seen guys too. But the truth is that for us as guys, we don't really care that much. Yeah. We don't care. We don't put a lot of preferences on women. We just want a woman that's, that's going to be on the same page. And yeah, I take 2 steps forward, you take 1 step towards me, and we're good. Yeah, we're not so picky like women. And so to read something like this, a girl sending me something like this, I'm just laughing, like straight out laughing, like really, I'm not that picky. Yeah, but it is what it is. People have preferences, and people should be allowed to have preferences, and it doesn't really make that a requirement. Yeah, the married people who I've seen who would still say, well, that's an ideal guy for me. I'd like guys like that. But guess what? They got married to a dude who's got a dad bod, or he has a dad bod now, or he never had abs. He never had all of that, he never had that look. So this is the thing. The fact that people have preferences doesn't necessarily make that a requirement for them. They would actually go live different lives, but that's the ideal. Okay, so that's just what I think. Enough with all the shape and the bubbly type of women. Look, I like that, and if I can get that, or if I get the opportunity anytime, to be with a lady like that, come on, I'm take my chances. Of course, I take my chances. But then I found that the women who are more the average type of women who you would consider to be average, were more warm. They had more warmth and were more feminine, and had a very, resounding female personality or femininity, that each time they walked into the room, you could feel it, and you always wanted to be around them. That's my thing. I'm not making a requirement for women with all the bubbly and everything. It's not me. So reading this, I thought I should address this and talk about this today. And let me see what you think about this in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed, this is a new channel. Subscribe, hit the like button, and help us promote this out there. And I'm going to be getting you a lot of more juicy content and topics that we could talk about surrounding, just around society and society in general. So thank